What hurts most is not always what she did. Sometimes it is what her silence makes you imagine. The unread message. The cold shift in tone. The story she posts while ignoring yours. The way your mind starts building a courtroom at 2 in the morning, replaying every word, trying to prove you were not disposable. And that is where most men lose. Not in the breakup. Not in the distance. But in the reaction. In this video, we are going to break down how silence, restraint, and emotional detachment change the power dynamic completely. Not as a trick. Not as a game. But as a way to stop bleeding your dignity into a world that feeds on desperation. And stay with me, because near the end I am going to show you the one mistake that makes a man look calm on the outside while still being owned on the inside. Before we go any deeper, I want to make something clear. This is not really about one woman. It never is. It is about what gets exposed inside you when someone you cared about suddenly becomes distant. It is about the modern social theater most people pretend not to see and still obey every day. The fake casualness. The strategic delay. The public smile, private coldness. The culture of keeping people emotionally close enough to feed the ego, but never close enough to require sincerity. Machiavelli would have recognized it instantly. Not because he taught bitterness, but because he understood what most people refuse to admit: power often hides behind softness, and manipulation rarely announces itself as manipulation. It arrives dressed as confusion. It arrives dressed as mixed signals. It arrives dressed as, "I'm just figuring things out." So today, we are going to look at this through a colder, more honest lens. We are going to talk about why she expects a reaction from you, why your silence unsettles her more than your pleading ever could, why doubt eventually turns inward, how she will often test the door before she truly opens it, and why emotional detachment is the real victory even if she never comes back. This is about relationships, yes. But it is also about work, status, family, social media, and the performance-driven world we live in now. Because the same law keeps showing up everywhere, the person who can govern himself is harder to control than the person who wants to be understood. And if any part of this hits close to home, take it personally in the best possible way. Not as shame. As recognition. Because a lot of men are not weak. They are just exhausted. They are carrying old wounds into new situations. They are trying to love honestly in a culture that rewards distance, ambiguity, and emotional leverage. So if you have been checking your phone too often, reading tone into silence, losing focus at work, pretending you are fine while your chest is heavy, this is for you. Not to lecture you. To walk with you through the moment where something inside you has to harden, not into cruelty, but into self-respect. Number 1. She expects you to react. That is the part almost nobody says out loud. She may not say it. Her friends may not say it. Social media definitely will not say it. But in many situations, the withdrawal itself becomes the message. She pulls back. Her replies get shorter. The energy changes. The warmth becomes technical. She still watches your stories, still stays just visible enough to be felt, but never present enough to be questioned. And if you have lived through this, you know how strange it feels. It is not clean enough to call a breakup. Not respectful enough to call honesty. It is a fog. And fog is useful to people who want control without responsibility. You see it in ordinary moments. You are at work pretending to listen in a meeting, but your mind is on the message she did not answer. You leave the gym and check your phone before you even start the car. You wake up in the middle of the night and the first thing you feel is not loneliness. It is suspense. That low-grade emotional suspense that follows men everywhere when they have given someone else the authority to disturb their nervous system from a distance. That is not love. That is dependency disguised as hope. And the reason her distance becomes so effective is simple. She is not only waiting to see whether you care. She is waiting to see how much of yourself you will abandon to prove it. Will you double text? Will you ask what is wrong after you already know something is wrong? Will you apologize just to reopen the door even if you did nothing worth apologizing for? Will you volunteer your dignity in exchange for temporary relief? A lot of men do. Not because they are stupid. Because uncertainty is unbearable when your self-worth is tied to being chosen. This is where the fake morality of modern dating reveals itself. People say, just communicate. But not everyone is operating in good faith. Some people do not want clarity. Clarity removes their advantage. Clarity closes the psychological auction. Ambiguity keeps you bidding. It keeps you emotionally spending. One more text. One more explanation. One more effort. One more chance. And every time you react too quickly, you tell the other person something they never forget: your inner world is available for purchase. I have seen this play out in ways that look almost identical. A man notices she stopped sending the good morning text she used to send every day. He tells himself not to overthink it. By lunch, he has overthought everything. By evening, he is composing a message in his head that sounds calm but is really a disguised plea for reassurance. He sends it. She responds just enough to keep him from leaving, but not enough to calm him. Now he is hooked deeper than before. Another man sees the same shift and says nothing. Not because he is playing a tactic. Because he notices the shift and refuses to chase what is already withdrawing. That second man suffers too. Do not romanticize it. But his suffering becomes private discipline instead of public surrender. And that difference matters. Because the moment you react impulsively, she knows where the center of gravity is. She knows your peace still rises and falls on her behavior. She knows she can disappear and still be felt. She knows she has become the weather in your mind. That is leverage. A woman who is unsure about you, testing you, or simply enjoying the reassurance of your attention will always notice this. She may never admit it. She may even tell herself a softer story. But deep down she feels it. You are still available. Still orbiting. Still waiting for the signal that lets you breathe again. That is why so many men lose respect at the exact moment they think they are showing care. They believe chasing proves sincerity. They believe emotional urgency proves value. They believe effort itself will be rewarded. But effort without boundaries is not attractive. It is revealing. It exposes a man who is negotiating from fear. And fear has a smell to it. Not the dramatic kind. The subtle kind. The kind that shows up in over-explaining, in sending paragraphs to someone who is giving you fragments, in trying to rescue a connection that only exists because you keep carrying it. What changes everything is not pretending not to care. It is deciding that your first responsibility is no longer to the connection. It is to your center. That means when the energy shifts, you do not rush to stabilize it. You notice. You breathe. You let the silence speak before you do. Because silence is information. Distance is information. Confusion is information. A man who respects himself reads patterns, not promises. And here is where the deeper Machiavellian truth enters. In a society built on image management, many people are less interested in love than in retaining options. Less interested in depth than in influence. Less interested in honesty than in maintaining the upper hand. So when she pulls back and waits, she may not even be consciously plotting against you. She may simply be acting out a pattern rewarded by this era: keep attention, avoid accountability, never fully close a door that still feeds the ego. Once you understand that, your reaction changes. You stop asking, how do I make her care, and start asking, why am I still offering myself where sincerity has already gone missing? That is the first shift. And it is not glamorous. It happens in quiet moments. In the minute after you decide not to send the message you already typed. In the hour after work when you want to check if she viewed your story and choose not to. In the evening when your body is restless, your pride is bruised, and you still refuse to perform your pain for someone who created it. That is where your power begins returning. Not in speeches. In restraint. Number 2. Your silence breaks her control. Silence is terrifying in a world built on immediate access. Everybody is reachable. Everybody is visible. Everybody leaves tiny signals everywhere. Active status. Story views. Likes. Music. Captions. Location tags. The modern world has turned attention into currency and emotional visibility into a public utility. So when you go truly quiet, not passive-aggressive, not dramatic, just absent from the game, something unusual happens. You interrupt the expected pattern. She expected movement from you. Maybe not a dramatic confession. Maybe not a meltdown. But something. A check-in. A casual reach-out. A little emotional smoke from the building so she could confirm the fire was still burning. And when that does not come, she has to sit with something most people hate more than conflict: uncertainty. Silence forces a person to meet their own mind. That is why most people avoid it. They scroll instead. They post instead. They flirt instead. They manufacture noise so they do not have to hear the deeper question underneath it all. But when you stop responding, stop feeding the pattern, stop proving you are still waiting, you remove the easy answer she was counting on. Now she cannot tell whether you are hurt, angry, healing, distracted, or gone. And the unknown unsettles people more than rejection ever does. Think about how it works in real life. She opens her phone at night. Nothing from you. She checks your profile. You are not posting for her. You are not sending indirect messages. You are not performing your recovery. That matters. Because a lot of men say they are silent while still broadcasting pain in other ways. Sad quotes. Strategic songs. Gym selfies with revenge energy dripping off them. None of that is silence. That is noise wearing a darker outfit. Real silence is clean. It offers no access point. No emotional breadcrumbs. No stage on which your wound continues auditioning for sympathy. And when she cannot locate you emotionally, something starts to shift. The same tension you used to feel begins moving into her. Not always because she misses you deeply. Be honest about that. Sometimes it is simpler and colder than romance. Sometimes she just notices the loss of influence. Sometimes she realizes the line she used to tug is no longer attached. That matters more than most men understand. People grow strangely attached to what they can affect. Influence itself becomes a form of intimacy in a fake society. To lose access to that influence feels like losing territory. This is why your silence can feel louder than any speech. You are no longer begging to be understood. You are no longer trying to manage her impression of you. You are no longer helping her feel secure in the knowledge that your attention remains on standby. And without that security, the story she was telling herself begins to crack. Maybe she thought you were like every other man who panics at withdrawal. Maybe she assumed a few days of distance would make you lean forward harder. Maybe she believed, because so many people do, that if she ever wanted to re-enter, you would still be standing at the door. And to be fair, maybe that used to be true. Maybe the old version of you did wait. Did chase. Did spiral. Did confuse obsession with loyalty. That is what makes this moment powerful. The silence is not just directed outward. It is evidence that something inside you is changing. I want to be careful here because this is where many videos become childish. They start treating silence like a tactic to make someone crawl back. That is too small. Too needy. Too theatrical. The reason silence works is not because it manipulates someone. It is because it stops you from manipulating yourself. It cuts off the ritual of self-humiliation that so many men call closure. The late-night checking. The rehearsed texts. The fake casual reach-outs. The internal bargaining. Once that stops, the psychological balance changes immediately. But yes, from the outside, she may feel it. She may start checking more than before. She may replay the last conversations. She may watch your stories from a distance and wonder why your energy feels different. She may post something meant to draw you out. Another man in the picture. A nostalgic song. An accidental reference to an inside joke. This is where most men think they are being chosen again, when in reality they are often just being tested for accessibility. And accessibility is everything. If she sends a vague message and you reply in seconds with relief leaking through every word, nothing changed. She has her answer. Your body may have been absent, but your mind was still kneeling at the same altar. That is why instant reaction is so expensive. It tells the truth before your mouth does. It says, I was waiting. I am still here. You can still rearrange my piece without much effort. The stronger move is not cruelty. It is standards. If she truly wants to re-enter your life in a meaningful way, vagueness is not enough. Curiosity is not enough. A breadcrumb is not enough. Real regret has weight. Real sincerity is clear. Real effort risks something. Anything less is often just ego checking whether the old door still opens. This becomes bigger than romance very quickly. Look at social life. Look at work. Look at the fake civility of people who disappear when you have no usefulness to them and reappear when they need reassurance, access, or status. Silence reveals all of it. The moment you stop over-participating in your own devaluation, you begin to see how many relationships survive only because you kept feeding them. That realization is painful, but clean pain is better than endless confusion. And something else happens in silence that few people talk about. You begin hearing yourself again. At first, that is uncomfortable. There is no dopamine hit from the phone. No little fantasy that the next message will restore your mood. No secret hope attached to every notification. Just you. Your thoughts. Your habits. Your emptiness if emptiness is there. Your strength if strength is there. That confrontation is where men are rebuilt. Not when she comes back. When he finally has to sit with who he is without being mirrored by female attention. Once you can do that, her control weakens fast. Because control was never really in her hands. It was in your willingness to keep handing it over. Number 3. She will start to doubt herself. For a while, many people move through life with quiet assumptions about who will stay available to them. They may never say it aloud. They may not even admit it to themselves. But they feel it. He will still be there. He will still answer. He will still care. He will still take the conversation wherever I leave it. That assumption becomes invisible because it has never been challenged. Then one day, the pattern breaks. At first the doubt is small. Almost nothing. Just a flicker. Why has he not reached out? Then it grows. Is he upset? Did something happen? Is he seeing someone else? Has he changed? And then, if your silence remains clean, a deeper question appears. Did I misread him completely? That is when the emotional architecture starts shifting. Because certainty is comforting, even when it is built on shallow foundations. She may have felt certain that your attachment was permanent. Certain that her distance would trigger pursuit. Certain that your feelings made you predictable. When that certainty disappears, people often do what all human beings do when the script stops working. They start reviewing the past. She begins replaying moments with new eyes. The last conversation. The last time you saw each other. The point where your energy started withdrawing. Things she ignored before start feeling heavier. Your consistency. Your patience. The way you tried to show up without making a spectacle out of it. Sometimes people do not respect something when they have full access to it. They only perceive value once access becomes uncertain. It is not noble, but it is common. You can picture the scenes. She is out with friends, but not fully present. Someone mentions your name casually and she acts indifferent too quickly. She checks your page late at night and tells herself it means nothing. She notices your absence in small moments she never expected to matter. The old message thread. The place you used to go. The silence where your validation used to be. That is where doubt starts gaining emotional mass. And the mind hates unanswered questions. It hates not knowing whether someone still wants you, hates not knowing whether they have moved on, hates not knowing whether the power dynamic flipped while you were still telling yourself the old story. That is why people check phones compulsively. That is why cliffhangers work. That is why ambiguity can become addictive. The mind would rather receive a painful answer than sit in open uncertainty. Now she is the one sitting in it. This is where men often sabotage themselves because the first signs of her curiosity feel like proof of destiny. A like on an old picture. A random reaction. A harmless sounding message. A sudden increase in story views. A friend asking about you indirectly. And because you have been starved emotionally, your mind wants to convert every small movement into meaning. Be careful here. Watching is not choosing. Wondering is not regretting. Testing is not committing. A lot of women, like a lot of men, do not reach back because they have done deep reflection and now want truth. They reach back because uncertainty bothers the ego. They want to know whether they still exist in your emotional hierarchy. They want reassurance without vulnerability. Access without accountability. If you rush to offer that, the cycle resets instantly. This is the part most people never recover from because they misread attention as remorse. They say, she liked my post, so she must miss me. She texted me, so she must have changed. She watched everything I posted, so I must still matter. Maybe. But maybe not in the way you hope. Maybe what matters to her is not the relationship. Maybe what matters is restoring the old emotional map where your care remained guaranteed. A woman who genuinely fears she lost something valuable does not remain permanently vague. She may be nervous. She may be proud. She may struggle to say it well. But sincerity becomes clearer over time, not more slippery. Real regret clarifies. Manipulation blurs. Real effort risks rejection. Ego fishing stays safe. And while she is moving through that uncertainty, something important should be happening on your side too. Not revenge. Reconstruction. This is where the script becomes truly silent authority. Because the strongest transformation is not public. It is what no one claps for. It is you returning to your body after weeks of mental noise. It is you walking into the gym not to become more attractive to her, but to stop feeling weak in your own skin. It is you focusing at work again because your attention no longer belongs to a situation that refuses to define itself. It is you eating, sleeping, thinking, and moving like your future still matters. That is what creates the deepest contrast. Not anger. Stability. Not bitterness. Direction. The world is full of people who can handle affection. Very few can handle losing access to a man who found direction without needing closure from them. That is where the regret, if it comes, becomes real. Not when you go silent for a day. When your life stops bending around her absence. And yes, if she starts to doubt herself, she may begin making contact in subtle ways. But subtlety alone means nothing. Keep that in front of you. A weak man sees one signal and starts writing an entire future around it. A grounded man sees the signal and asks a better question: is there substance here, or just movement? That one question protects you from repeating months of damage in one impulsive reply. Because by this point, the real issue is no longer whether she is confused. The real issue is whether you have become clear. Number 4. When she tries to pull you back. She does not like losing. Most people do not. They may not care enough to build a relationship with integrity, but they still care about the idea that they could have if they wanted to. That is the vanity of the modern world. People collect possibilities like decorations. They want doors left open, not because they intend to walk through them, but because closed doors wound the ego. So when your silence becomes undeniable, when enough time passes that your absence feels real, the first instinct is often not confession. It is testing. She wants to know whether the bridge still stands. Whether one message can still move you. Whether one memory can still reopen everything. That is why the first reach out is so often vague. Hey, hope you're good. This reminded me of you. How have you been? It sounds harmless, almost innocent. But beneath it is usually a question she is not asking directly: do I still have access? This is where most men fail, not because they have no discipline, but because hope makes them generous with their boundaries. They tell themselves it is mature to respond immediately. They tell themselves it would be rude not to. They tell themselves maybe this time it is different. And maybe sometimes it is. But a man who has learned anything from pain stops being hypnotized by possibility alone. He looks for pattern, weight, direction, and consistency. If she reaches out and the message is weak, treat it as weak. If she circles back without ownership, notice that. If she wants emotional access without emotional responsibility, that is the old game wearing fresh makeup. You do not need to be dramatic. You do not need to punish. You do not need to perform coldness. You simply stop meeting ambiguity with full-hearted availability. Sometimes the test gets stronger. She may bring up an old memory. She may say she misses the way things were. She may show up indirectly through mutual friends. She may post in a way designed to provoke jealousy or sentiment. She may even become warmer for a moment, just enough to awaken the old version of you that wanted to believe. This is why self-control must become identity, not strategy. Because if self-control is only a tactic, you will abandon it the second your favorite fantasy returns. You have to understand the emotional math here. A reaction from you solves her uncertainty. No reaction keeps the truth unresolved. That unresolved space forces a decision eventually. Either she escalates into honesty, or she withdraws because what she wanted was reassurance, not reconnection. Both outcomes are useful to you. One gives clarity. The other exposes the shallowness of the contact. What hurts men is not reality. It is prolonged ambiguity fed by their own willingness to overinvest in signs. There is a practical side to this too. Imagine you are 3 weeks into rebuilding your focus. Sleep is better. Work feels cleaner. You are not healed, but you are no longer drowning. Then her name appears on your phone. Instantly your body remembers everything. The chest tightness. The narrative. The hope. The ache. You think this message is a reward for your silence. No. It is a test of your recovery. Life will do this over and over. Not only with women. With toxic friends. Old habits. Attention addictions. False opportunities. The thing that wounded you often reappears right when you are finally regaining balance. That is why your response, if there is one, must come from the man you are becoming, not the man who was starving before. Slow down. Let the moment breathe. Ask yourself what exactly is being offered here. Is it truth? Is it effort? Is it accountability? Or is it just contact? Contact alone is cheap. Plenty of people know how to restart a conversation. Very few know how to rebuild trust. And if she truly regrets losing you, if she truly sees that she mishandled something valuable, her behavior will eventually stop being lazy. It will have shape. It will be direct. It will involve risk on her part, not just curiosity on yours. She will not hide forever behind breadcrumbs if what she wants is real. People who are serious eventually become understandable. People who are playing for ego remain strategically blurry. The strongest position you can hold here is simple: I do not confuse access with sincerity anymore. That sentence alone can save a man years. Because once you stop responding to every little hook, the dynamic changes completely. She either has to meet you at the level of truth or lose access to the version of you that once accepted crumbs. And if she leaves at that point, painful as it may be, you have your answer. She did not want you. She wanted the option of you. There is a difference, and that difference is where many men waste the best years of their life. It is also where a more mature kind of authority is born. Silent authority is not loud dominance. It is emotional filtration. The ability to let reality show itself without rushing in to rescue your preferred illusion. The ability to watch a person reveal their level and believe what you see. The ability to stay soft-hearted without staying available to disrespect. If she comes back clearly, you decide from strength. If she comes back vaguely, you hold your ground. If she disappears because the old access is gone, you let that disappearance become final. In every case, the goal is not to win her. It is to stop losing yourself. Number 5. Mastering emotional detachment changes everything. This is the part that separates surface-level advice from real transformation. Because you can stay silent and still be obsessed. You can ignore the message and still emotionally kneel every night in private. You can act detached while your entire nervous system is still waiting for her return. That is not freedom. That is repression. And repression eventually leaks. Real emotional detachment is different. It does not mean you felt nothing. It means your feelings no longer dictate your behavior, your schedule, your self-image, or your worth. It means her presence stops being the mirror by which you measure yourself. It means you stop turning another person's inconsistency into a referendum on your value. This is hard because most men were never taught how to hold pain without making it their identity. They were taught to chase success, chase status, chase approval, chase the woman, chase the next proof that they matter. So when a woman pulls away, it does not merely hurt their heart. It destabilizes their entire internal system. Suddenly they are not just losing her. They feel like they are losing proof that they were enough. That is why some men cannot let go. They are not grieving only the person. They are grieving the version of themselves that felt validated in her attention. Detachment begins when you tell the truth about that. You say to yourself, maybe what I am craving is not her. Maybe it is relief. Maybe it is certainty. Maybe it is the return of a version of me that did not have to sit alone with his own emptiness. Once you can say that honestly, healing becomes less theatrical and more real. You stop romanticizing the pain. You stop building a shrine around the person who triggered it. You start dealing with the part of you that was too willing to be emotionally governed from the outside. In practical terms, this changes your entire life. Your mornings stop beginning with your phone. Your mood stops depending on who did or did not reach out. Your work improves because your attention is no longer fragmented by emotional waiting. Your body feels stronger because stress is not chewing through you all day. Your relationships become cleaner because you stop overvaluing inconsistent people and undervaluing your own peace. And the strange thing is, this is usually the point where people start respecting you more. Not because you became colder. Because you became less available for nonsense. The man who is no longer begging to be chosen becomes harder to categorize. Harder to manipulate. Harder to replace in memory. The world is used to desperate energy. It knows exactly how to handle men who over-pursue. But calm self-possession creates a different effect. It forces people to meet you honestly or not at all. Women feel this. Men feel this. Employers feel this. Friends feel this. Family feels this. The moment people realize they cannot shake you with silence, pull you with crumbs, or keep you in emotional suspense, their behavior changes. Some rise to your standard. Others disappear. Both outcomes are useful. This is where stoicism and Machiavellian realism can actually coexist without poisoning you. Stoicism teaches you to govern the self. Machiavellian realism teaches you not to be naive about the motives of others. One without the other can become incomplete. Pure softness gets exploited. Pure suspicion becomes corrosive. But self-mastery with clear-eyed realism creates something rare, a man who is not paranoid, yet not easily fooled, not bitter, yet not available for manipulation, not performative, yet unmistakably strong. That is what emotional detachment gives you. Not indifference. Discernment. Not numbness. Sovereignty. And once you taste that, the whole old game starts to look small. The endless checking. The overanalyzing. The hunger for validation. The urge to be chosen by someone who keeps proving they do not know what to do with your sincerity. All of it begins to feel beneath the life you are trying to build. You stop asking whether she regrets losing you and start asking a better question: have I become the kind of man who no longer abandons himself just because someone else withdrew? That question changes everything. Because the real prize was never her attention. The real prize was the return of your center. The return of your discipline. The return of your standards. The return of your ability to sit in uncertainty without becoming undignified. That is the victory no one can take from you. Not her. Not the next person. Not the culture. Not the algorithmic circus that keeps trying to convince you your value lives in external response. So let us close this cleanly. If a woman hurts you, do not rush to make meaning out of every signal. Do not confuse silence with mystery and breadcrumbs with love. Notice the pattern. Pull your energy back. Let your absence reveal the truth. If she only wanted influence, your silence will expose it. If she genuinely valued you, time will eventually make that clear too. Either way, your job is the same: stop chasing clarity from people who benefit from your confusion. We talked about how she expects a reaction, how your silence breaks the old control, how doubt starts turning inward, how she may try to test the door before she truly walks through it, and why emotional detachment is the only ending that actually sets you free. That was the promise at the beginning. Here is the final answer to the open loop I gave you: the biggest mistake a man makes is not texting too soon. It is staying emotionally dependent while pretending he has moved on. That hidden dependence keeps him owned. Real freedom begins when his peace stops negotiating with external attention. And if you are in that place right now, if you are somewhere between anger and longing, between pride and grief, hear me clearly. You do not need to become colder than you are. You need to become clearer. Clear about what happened. Clear about what you tolerated. Clear about what access now costs. Clear about the fact that your dignity is not a bargaining chip, and your attention is not a public service. This world rewards performance. It rewards confusion. It rewards people who can extract emotional labor without offering truth in return. Do not let that world train you into self-betrayal. Keep your heart, but harden your boundaries. Keep your depth, but lose your desperation. Keep your humanity, but stop handing your nervous system to people who treat sincerity like an advantage to exploit. That is how you become untouchable in the only way that matters. Not because no one can hurt you, but because no one can make you abandon yourself again. If this spoke to something real in you, subscribe to Silent Authority and stay with this channel. We are building a different kind of strength here, one that is quiet, precise, and honest about the world we live in. And before you go, leave one line in the comments: I stopped chasing what confuses me. Not for me. For you. Because sometimes the first act of authority is hearing yourself say the truth out loud.